Checking out the ZT model here, made in the USA. Experience it. Not sure what the model is on this one. I do know it is part of Kai USA, same mother umbrella brand that owns Core Shop. So let's just get in here right without further ado to see what we're working with. Ooh, okay. First impression, it gives me beefy buys. Okay, yes, absolutely. This is one beefy boy, to say the least. Holy smokes. Okay, that is going to be a interesting unboxing. It looks like Kevin did a skiff bearing swap on this guy. All right, so we got probably the factory bearings on there. And that's pretty much it, right, on the box, aside from some warranty handout or something like that. But here is this knife. I'm just going to go ahead and future me put the model on the screen because I have no clue what this is called, and I'm definitely seeing this thing for the first time. I think, as a matter of fact, yes, it is the first ZT in the channel. How about that? ZT making a debut here in the Miguel EDC channel. That's exciting. That's awesome. And what a way to make a debut here, if not with this brick tank of an EDC knife. So let's check it out. It looks like we have titanium on one side. Got the sort of rock pattern, you know, going on here, which I really like. Looks very, very rugged. On the other side, it looks like we have, well, let's just get the magnet of truth out here. So titanium on this side, absolutely. And then we do have what feels like G10 or maybe carbon fiber handle there with a steel liner, right? So that's very, very interesting. I don't know exactly how much I really dig or like these knives that have two separate kind of scales. It looks one way on one side, it looks a different way on the other side. Still hasn't grown on me a ton, but just like anything else, this pivot looks interesting, right? What kind of hardware would you use to disassemble that? I don't even know. So that's something. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get this thing flipped open. I know that's what you're here for. And so am I. Holy smokes. Man, this is yeah, this is some hardcore use knife here for sure. Talk about a tall blade, right? Looking very nice. The finish here is very Kai, very Kershaw looking, with that beautiful, you know, satin slash bell satin finish, right? Nice little switch up here, which is also interesting. Looking pretty good, right? It is an in-house design. That's what that logo there means. And yeah, nothing else as far as model goes. So I'm just going to have to Google it and let you guys know, because I have no idea as of the recording of the video. But man, all right, ergonomics. I mean, it is a tall handle, so it's going to feel the hand. If you got big old bear paws, this thing got you covered. No doubt about that. Holy macaroni. Man, also the little curvature back here, right? Also accommodates pretty good. That's nice. You can also probably rest your thumb. Yes, it's exactly what this little section is curved for. You can rest your thumb right there if you're doing cuts for a long period of time. Again, just kind of gives me very hardcore, get some work done type of eyes. It is a frame lock with a steel insert for steel on steel contact. And I do have good access to the lock bar from here. Yes, it is on ball bearings. And it is a very drop shotty action, to say the least. Man, that is a snappy flipper, right? It is GIMP, which is good. Very interesting that the flipper tab is hollowed out as well. That's unique. And man, oh man, this is definitely definitely something, right? Hardcore for sure. Kind of digging this design here, right? Look at this sort of cutout hole opening right there on both sides. Definitely see-through. That's interesting and unique around the pivot area right there. And you got a big old pronounced linear hole back here. Your pocket clip is reversible. Right? Looks like it'll go in and out of the pocket pretty good. And if I bear down on it, I kind of don't even feel that pocket clip, to be honest. So that's a good 9.5 out of 10 right there. And again, these are my average size hands. I don't have big hands in any way, shape, or form. So pretty average. This knife is definitely on the larger side of things. Let's just go ahead and do the pocket clip is reversible, by the way. So there's holes on the other side. There's a 3 T6 screws, it looks like. M390 on the blade, if I haven't already mentioned that, right? So premium steel, obviously. I mean, it is, the fact that there's titanium on one scale already tells you that it is going to be a premium knife. And it does deploy here with authority. Listen to that. It's like a nice thwack, right? Bam. And a nice drop shotty action. All right, it's a little bit skewed to the left for some reason. Or maybe I'm just, I think what's throwing me off is the fact that the liner is black. And so it's a scale here. Yeah, I think it still looks a little bit to the left. You guys be the judge there. It can be easily adjusted. But in this case, I wouldn't know how. I got to do some research with this knife. Because how the heck do you even work with this type of pivot? I have no clue. Definitely a first for me, first one in the channel as well. All right, size comparisons really quick, just so I can show you how big this thing is compared to your Manix 2. That looks like a fetus next to this guy. Here's the Yojimbo 2, also looking pretty small. All right, guys, take a look there for yourself. Let's bring out some other knives that perhaps will do better justice. There is the Stitch from Microtech. Here's the MSI as well, right? MSI just comes close to surpassing it in size. But, I mean, obviously the blade here is so much taller. Right? It's kind of like a harpoon drop point blade, if you would, right, with a flat grind. Right? These are going to look like babies next to it. Demko AD 20.5. And the Chad right there. Don't mind my toddler screaming in the background if that's coming to the video at all. Here's the Civivi Vision FG, right? Looking like a baby. The Militaw, also looking tiny next to it. Man, there's some size to it for sure. There's the Vosteed Raccoon, and here is the CJRB Hectare Alt, right? Those are going to look very puny, very tiny next to this tank of an EDC knife right here. Holy smokes, man. This is certainly something. But yeah, there you go. That kind of should give you a ballpark idea there, more or less, right? What this guy is packing. Let's do our scientific cutting test, of course. I mean, is it going to cut some paper? I don't know. I don't know. Is it going to cut paper? I don't know. I have my doubts. Of course, I'm kidding. Is it going to cut paper? Yes. Absolutely, right? M390 steel, right? Full flat grind. Super slicing, to say the least. You do have some belly to it as well, so it could be a good, maybe food prep knife. I don't know. For my camping folks out there, what do you think? Right? Would this make a good food prep knife? Right? If you had to, you know, you're out there in the woods surviving and you got the tank of an overbuilt EDC with you, right? Maybe do some bushcrafting while you're at it. I don't know, man. This thing is hilariously huge. Holy smokes. Paper, of course, you can do that all day, every day. What about some cardboard? Got some everyday cardboard here, single wall cardboard. Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular, but rather at an angle like that. And it's going to look something like this. I'm going to adjust my grip here. Bam. Wow, like nobody's business. M390 putting in work. And yeah, this feels like the type of knife that would certainly make it through a long, you know, cardboard cutting sesh. Like if you're doing a, you know, trash day and you're cutting up all your cardboard, this thing would do it with no problem, right? I struggle a little bit there, if anything, because it was dual wall cardboard. Any knife will struggle a little bit, or at least be more challenging than single wall cardboard, right? But you get the idea. And it looks like we have a little bit of gunk here, which I'm going to go ahead and clean off. But let me know your thoughts, right? Factory edge has already seen some use, right, from the other folks in the knife pass around. What are your thoughts? How sharp is this guy? How much of an edge has it retained? Let me know in the comments. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the ZT, whatever model is on the screen. Because again, I'm just recording this live. I didn't even, again, this is my raw first impression. I am unfamiliar with this model, and it is the first ZT in the channel. Definitely a overbuilt beast of an EDC knife for sure. Holy macaroni. Yeah, this is something. These are serialized, it looks like. It looks like this one might be number 0393, as it says right there on the blade. And yeah, man, good action for being a flipper only. Right, just don't put pressure on the lock bar. That's about the only thing I can tell you. But other than that, yeah, this thing is overbuilt. Looks like a hardcore knife, and it looks like it will certainly deliver on that department. But you guys know how it goes. This is just a quick unboxing, first impressions video, sharing with you just kind of like, you know, my first take on a knife, especially this one, which I haven't seen ever. This is my first time seeing it and handling it. So of course, I'll carry this guy for some time, try to gather all my feedback, and I will be sharing a comprehensive review video here with you guys in the very near future, right? If you'd like to stay tuned for that, or for any other knife content, which I post here very regularly on a daily basis, guys, please consider subscribing. I promise you it'll be worth coming back for more. If you got value out of the video, smashing that like button really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, this knife and every other knife that you saw in this video will be linked down below. If you're interested in checking it out, perhaps purchasing it through those links, it does help out the channel at zero cost to you. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.